Hello, welcome back to Board Game Bananas. Here are the bananas, and today the board game is Catan. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what I do like about Catan and also what I don't like. So without further ado, let's get cracking. The main positive about Catan as a board game is, of course, the accessibility. This is a great game for first-time players, and first-time players can basically play it pretty much as well as a routine veteran. A lot of people that I speak to within the board game hobby do cite Catan as one of the first board games that they played, or one of the board games that made them fall in love with board games. And to be honest with you, it's easy to understand why. There's a very healthy amount of strategy in Catan in that it does make you think a little bit, but at the same time it's not so much that you feel overwhelmed in that regard. There's also a lot of replayability in the sense that the numbers and of course the tiles on the board can be set up differently, as well as of course the randomness of a dice throw. Simply put, this is a very accessible game and a very replayable one, and it's easy to see in that regard why so many people like it. The other thing that I really like about Catan, and it's to be honest something that's quite unique about this as a board game, is that it really does keep you engaged all of the time. Firstly, the turns go quite quickly, so I don't have to wait very long before it's my turn again. But then, even when it's another player's turn, when they roll the dice, I could still be getting resources, so I still need to be, actively paying attention to make sure I get the resources that I'm due. And then equally, when it's somebody else's turn and they're trading, well, I could be involved in that as well. What this game does really well is that, even when it's not my turn, I'm still interested, I'm still engaged in the game, I'm still mentally present at the table, basically. That is something this game does a lot better than many other games that I've played. Over to the negative side, one of the things that I don't particularly like about Catan is that sometimes when it's my turn, there isn't really anything I can do. I'll roll the dice, I'll gain the resources from doing that, as will every other player, but then if I don't have any resources to build anything with, well then I can't build. If I don't have anything that anybody's interested in trading with, then I can't trade. If I don't have 4 of something, then I can't trade with the bank. That, I think, happens a little bit too often. It's not a major problem because, again, when it's somebody else's turn, I'm still engaged. I still feel like I'm participating and I still have the chance to kind of make trades and gain resources and grow within the game, so to speak. So it's not a major problem. But I do feel when I've played so far, it's been a little bit too common that I haven't been able to do anything on my turn. But the main thing that I don't like about Catan as a board game is that it doesn't have what us board game enthusiasts call a catch-up mechanism. Basically, what I mean by that is that if there's one player who has a lot of resources and is then able to build something, then they're going to get more resources, then they're going to build something else, then they're going to get more resources, then they're going to build something else, then they're going to get more resources. It basically spirals upwards, and that me as their opponent, there's nothing I can really do to stop them from winning. There's nothing I can really do to catch them up. This robber tile does help a little bit in that regard. If, for example, the blue player is gaining a lot of resources, well, then I can put this somewhere to try and mitigate that. But then, of course, when somebody else rolls a 7, it gets moved again, it gets taken somewhere else. It doesn't really work to the extent that I would like it to work as a catch-up mechanism. But I will admit, maybe I'm just seeing it that way because I've started designing my first board game and I'm starting to think a little bit more about that type of thing. And what I will say about that is that when players are placing their initial settlements on the board before the game's even begun during the initial setup phase, you can almost take a look at the numbers, take a look at the resources, and kind of work out who is most likely to win. And then from that point forward, because there are certain numbers that are more and less likely to come up when you throw 2 dice, then you can kind of work out who's going to win, and there's not much that the other players can do to stop them. And I mentioned in the beginning that this is a really great game for first-time players, but the thing is, that's a bit of a caveat there, because first-time players are not going to realise the importance of placing their initial settlement there and not there, or something like that. It's a bit of a negative, in my opinion. In conclusion, though, I do genuinely really like this game. Strangely, within the board game industry, a lot of people love to hate Catan. I think that's because for so many people, it was the first game that they played or the first game that they really got into, so it's seen as cool or trendy to dislike Catan. Don't think like that. It's a good game. For a family weight game, there are many, many worse games than this. I would give this game a score of 4 out of 5 bananas. It's very, very good. It will keep you entertained for a few hours, but of course, it's far from perfect. What do you guys think? I would love to know down in the comments, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, goodbye, and good luck. Take care.